Mace, brother. What are we up to today?
Man, we are blessed this morning. It's a beautiful morning. It's cold here in Michigan, but we got some fun and some impact this morning to start the day. We're on our way to Belding High School. Had one of the leaders at the high school reach out to me, ask me to speak to their students today. I'm super pumped about this because what we're speaking about is video marketing and telling your story through video, and how does video relate to the business world. So I'm super passionate about that. I got my guy Noah here with me. We've been on this journey for 4 or 5 years together. I'm also bringing my buddy Cody so I can use his business as an example for these kids. And I really think that there's going to be a couple kids that relate to this and take this and run with it. So, but I'm on a tight schedule though. I got a jet from the high school. I got like 50 minutes. I'm gonna give them everything I freaking got. I got 50 minutes. I'm gonna give them everything I got. But then I gotta speed back to my house because I gotta get to my studio at my house. I'm speaking to the bank, couple hundred people here today on a sales training, internal mastermind that we developed at the bank, which has been amazing for our sales culture. I'm running the mastermind today, and I got some gold for the LOs and just prepping for 2026 and wrapping up 2025. So super pumped about that. From there, I got a jet to the Stretch Lab. If you don't know what the Stretch Lab is, you need to Google it if you hear this right now. The Stretch Lab has changed my life. It's given me, I call it the LeBron James pro athlete treatment, because I walk in, I get stretched. I get, they have the massage guns. They just get me so right. So 50 minutes of just self-care. And at that moment, it's gonna be 12:50. And then I gotta get to work. I gotta get into my business building. I gotta get into my pipeline and wrap up all of my work here in about 2-3 hours so that I can be the dad that I wanna be.
All right, so I'm kind of excited about this. I didn't know he was bringing friends with him. I don't know where we're going. I didn't give him really anything, okay? I sent him a message on Facebook and just said, hey, this is what I'm doing. I got a day. I'd like to have you come in. And he got back to me in 30 minutes. And he said, yeah. And the only parameters I said, well, this is Duke Perfect. Kind of what it is, just give him the idea of, I don't know what the class is. The class changes every time. This class is more active. They're really creative, and they do some different stuff. But it's the planning aspect. It's social media. It's real world stuff that I try to connect. So I just said, tie it in with that. Maybe talk a little banking, because he works in the money industry. And most importantly, maybe, is if you could go back to yourself as a high school kid, what would you want to tell yourself if you were in the class? So that's all I said. I have no idea where they're going with it. Then he came in with 2 friends. So now I have no idea where it's going to go. A couple of things I want to say first, and then I'll let him introduce himself and roll where he's going to go. I don't know Mason very well. In person, this is maybe a half dozen times we've met. And he was still willing to, he's a very busy man, okay? He was willing at the drop of a hat to come all the way out here to Belding to talk to you. So that tells you how good of a person he is. Okay, but it also goes to, how many times have I talked about networking and the people you know? How many times have I said that in here? Over and over and over, probably too many times, right? This is kind of one of those ways. And 2 of the ways that I did that is Cody is a Belding grad. He and Cody are friends. So I knew Cody, so there's a connection there. And then the other one is, I think I've talked about it in this class, but I have in my more PE yoga classes. I was at MVP Fitness for the summer. I got a membership and just walked around and was able to meet people and people of all different types, okay? And then that connection of a personal just, hey, playing basketball together, and just sit down afterwards, hey, what's your name? And then the next time, hey, what do you do? Or, hey, this is what I do. Or it's just simple conversations, starting with doing something you enjoy, maybe that you're good at, makes it a little better, right? And then having a conversation, just saying your name, knowing somebody's name, and then seeing them over and over again, and then where those conversations go, okay? The last thing I'll say is, right now it doesn't look, we look kind of maybe similar now, but if you looked at him or his social media or whatever, he and I, if you looked at us, you'd probably say we're pretty different. He usually has a ton of style, and I'm the guy, this is what I look like every single day. I never buy new clothes, right? This is me. This is the most excited I ever am, right? You guys know I'm pretty monotone. I'm not the most outgoing. I'm not the most personable. He's the opposite of that. He's in the banking world. He deals with a lot of money. He probably has a whole lot more money than I do. I'm just a teacher, right? So if you looked from the outside, you'd go, no, you guys aren't friends, there's no way. I have a lot of friends like that. And another reason for that is he knows a lot of stuff I don't know. So the more people you know, and the more people you know that know things you don't know, that's how you learn. That's how you make connections, that's how you grow, that's how you get the things you need, or how you can learn. And also how they can learn from you. So the benefits of having different friendships, different relationships with people, they're beneficial in many different ways. But the last thing I'll say, and then I'll let him go, the most important part is being around good people. And like I said, he's willing to come out and talk to a bunch of high school kids for a teacher that he's met a half dozen times. And if you look at his social media stuff, he's part of his community. He's giving to people. He's giving people advice. He's out giving toys and getting toys for people. Like there's a genuine aspect to it that can't be faked. So the more good people you're around, the more it's going to elevate you. Okay, and then give you other connections beyond that, probably. All right. So again, I don't know where we're going from here. If you have any questions about anything as we go, just throw your hand up and ask it.
Open book. Open book, yeah.
So the more interactive we can be, the more you'll enjoy it, the more you'll get out of it. No such thing as a dumb question. If you ask a dumb question, I'll tell you it's a dumb question and say be quiet. But if you have a question, just ask it. Okay?
Man, I don't know if I need to say anything because Mr. Mason here, I mean, first of all, him doing this for you guys, and thank you for the kind words. And he hit something really, really important that actually Noah and I'm going to introduce Noah to you guys here in a minute. We made a video on the other day because I am a business coach and a basketball coach. And a lot of times in business, I'm always like, get asked, hey, what would you tell the younger version of you, right? The young 20s version of you. And out of all of the advice that I've given, it really came down to find the nicest gym in your town and join it. And it's not for the aesthetics and for the special equipment, it's for the people, right? And I've met so many people that have impacted my life in many ways. I met Mr. Mason on the basketball court, and I actually spoke, what was it, 7-8 months ago. Yeah. Cody and I came here, spoke to a group of people. Cody had introduced me to Rick. Rick then reached out, hey, thank you so much for doing that for the high school. We connected on the basketball court. And the reason why I bring this up is because I want you guys to know that your energy, who you are, that is your currency. Like, we're gonna talk a little bit about money today because I want you guys to be excited about that and the opportunity you have because I'm just like you. I call myself a tweener. So I'm in between generations. I'm in between your parents and you guys. I'm 34 and I've been living this life that I'm living right now for about 9 years. So I started this journey at 25. So I'm a tweener, right? I could still go and probably get 20, 30 points on the hoop court with you guys, but also I could sit with your parents and talk about life and the meaning of being able to, do what we can to provide a life for you guys, right? So give you a little bit about me. Today is not about me. I want to be really intentional to bring you guys some value. I got some really good examples that I think you guys can leave excited here about. And I want to introduce myself and then talk a little bit about Cody and Noah as well. So my name is Mason Mauer. I grew up super modest in a town, Lansing, grew up downtown Lansing. My brother and I'm the youngest of three. My brother and I shared a bedroom till we were 17 and 19 when I moved to Grand Rapids when I was 17. So had everything we needed, nothing more. But on my mind, like as I was growing up, money was not a thing that I chased, or money was not a thing that I thought would, be a part of my life. It was hard work, playing basketball. I dribbled a basketball. I had friends going and fighting in Iraq, and I got to play basketball in college, so I didn't have to do that. And it always humbled me when my boys were in Iraq, in war, and I'm going to school for free because I was good at dribbling a basketball, right? So, fast forward a couple years into college, I came up here to Grand Valley to play basketball. I broke my femur bone, and my basketball journey was done. And at the time, I thought that my journey was done because you only know what you know at that time, right? But it ended up being the most amazing thing that ever happened to me because I decided to go on a journey, the road less traveled, and it has brought me a lot of joy. I have 3 sons. I married my wife that I met when I was 19 and she was 17. We moved out together, started this life together, and it's become a beautiful thing. I'm vice president of one of the 12 federal fund banks in the United States. It's headquartered here out of Grand Rapids. I dressed like this intentionally because when I was your age, if I would have thought of what does the vice president of a federal bank look like, it was not me. Let's just be real, right? Like you're thinking suit and well put together, and I can do that too, and I do that sometimes per the occasion, but this is me. And there's an intentionality behind being myself, especially with you guys, because that's really gonna be your superpower on this journey. The reason why I was so excited, there's two things, no matter who you are, two things you never say no to. If you can, you never say no to. It's community stuff, because who you do your life with matters. It's gonna be who you work with, the people that your kids grow up with, all of you guys will be connected forever. You never say no to community stuff. And then we are all the best person, the most qualified person to help who we used to be. And that starts with you guys right now. So what grades are you guys in right now? Sophomore, senior. So I'm gonna put this into I'm gonna dumb this down so that way you guys can think about this. Think about this like a seventh, eighth grader coming up to you and asking for advice. What's high school like? What's varsity basketball like? What's varsity this like? What's that, right? Like you're qualified to tell them because that's who you just were, right? And so the number two thing you never say no to is if you have an opportunity to help somebody that was you in the past, do it, because you never know who you can impact. And I genuinely mean that. And there's a video at the end I'm gonna show you guys that's gonna tie all this together, but you taking that second and taking that time to go and give to who you used to be, it not only makes you feel good, it empowers them, and it opens up doors for them that they may, never know. So with that being said, I want you to know that it's not just talk, like this works, what I'm gonna talk about works. I'm 34 years old. I don't talk about money much, although I have to talk about money, but I grew up super modest, small house. I own 5 houses. I'm a real estate investor. I own a company. I'm vice president of North Point Bank. I have a lending company that's partnered with the bank. So I got like 7 vehicles driving for me now. Vehicles as in businesses and income. And the reason why I tell you that, it all started with making video. It all started with making video. It is crazy because I knew that I had the work ethic and the will and the kindness in my heart and the care in my heart. I knew when I was in my 20s, I was gonna do something. I didn't know what it was. I didn't know what it was. But then everything changed when I start making video. So I would say that my titles don't mean anything, but my greatest title outside of being a dad and a husband and a friend is the vice president title of the bank. This is something that I want to relate to video for you guys. So 5 years ago, I met Noah in Las Vegas. I paid $2,000 to go to this conference to learn about how to make video. How can I tell my story? How can I tell my story to thousands and thousands and thousands of people online? Because when you think about our grandparents, their parents, like it all comes down to communication. Think about a lifetime ago. Your grandparents' parents, when they wanted to tell somebody something, they're like horse and buggy, like legit, riding a horse and buggy to another town to tell them something, communicate. And then it transitioned to write and mail, like they could mail each other letters. Then it transitioned to being able to call people, right? Text people. That's one-to-one, one-to-one, one-to-one. Well, then the internet popped off in 2012, and the whole game changed. Because now you can tell your story one to many. It's one to many. It's the same work that our parents were doing, but instead of one opportunity, you guys have thousands of opportunities. That is why in my industry right now, I told you guys I'm a tweener. I have some people who are in their 30s, they're like, hey, I can't wait until so-and-so's out of the industry because he gets so much business, and so-and-so's out of the industry because he gets so much business, and I'm just gonna scoop up here in the next couple years because there's some older dudes who make a lot of money doing what we do that are on their way to retirement. You know what I told them? I said, you're underestimating the sophomores, juniors, and seniors right now because the world is their canvas. You have the greatest opportunity. that has ever been had entering into the business world, because you all understand like what's right and wrong on social media. Right? You obviously know what social media is, right? Raise your hand. This is not going to be just about social media. It's going to be about video. You obviously know like what it's like to spread a positive message and be behind a positive mission, and then you know what it's like to like troll, right? Like, you get what I'm saying? Like there's the bad, but this good, bro. This good, where you can get behind something you believe into, and then it's in front of thousands. I've posted a video and been in front of 250,000 people. Same video. Go back a lifetime ago, and our parents, think about that, take 50 years to go get their message to be in front of 200,000 people, whatever that may be. So I give you that context because 5 years ago, I meet Noah Keener, and we're in this conference, we're talking about video, and a lot of this leadership stuff, it all ties together, and it's about being a good person and finding something you love to do, and then double down on that and go making an impact in your community. That's really what it comes down to. And there's gonna be different angles you can take with this, which is why I wanna use their journeys as an example as well, not just mine. But 2 years ago, I'm at the bank. I did not go to the bank to be the vice president. I launched my company through the bank. I did not want to be vice president. I love doing what I do. I hoop every day. I coach 3 basketball teams. I got 3 kids. I help my people. I'm really intentional about helping my people. But because I do that, when my parents were growing up working in a factory, I'm growing up going to the gym and living my life. Like me being the vice president at the time was not in my cards because I had it really good. Because of all of this stuff I believed in, it came to fruition. Why do I want the role of this vice president? But here's where everything changed. So 2 years ago, the vice president of my company that I'm at right now left for another company. And that other company called me and said, we want you to run our thing nationwide. We're going to give you $500,000 to come to this other company. And keep in mind, I told you guys, I grew up, poor is not the right word because we had everything we needed, like, right? We shared clothes, but my mom would still drive us to Chicago to play in a basketball game on a Saturday. So like we had what we needed, right? So in that moment, I said, man, that seems like a pretty good gig. Like I know my energy is my currency. I can succeed anywhere. But as soon as I stood up, I stopped and I said, hold up. If I do this, this is about me. This is not about all of my people. And I have built a team. I have 6, 7 mouths that their family's Christmas depends on what our business is doing, right? So it was about me instead of my people. So I said, hey, you know what? I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna stay back. I love what I do. I love where I'm at. I work for a really good company. I'm gonna stay back. So this transitioned into them looking for the new vice president. There's dudes who have been doing what I do. I'm 34, right? 15 years ago, I was sitting in this class. There's guys who have been doing what I do for 20, 30 years, waiting for the vice president job. 10, 15 people in line. Guys, gals, experience, diplomas, you name it. They have it all. But guess what they weren't doing? They weren't making video. So the owner of our company found out I'm making video. He's like, hold up. Mace can be a positive influence in the community, and we can use his voice to speak one to many. Like, none of these guys are doing this. None of these gals are doing this. They might have the credibility, but the game has changed, which is why at 32, I got the vice president job over a line of 15 people because the world has changed, you guys, and it's changed in our favor, right? And so now we use video for everything. We use video to spread good message. We use video to be resourceful. Noah has a video making company. So Noah is a videographer. He's a production. He does the coolest stuff you guys could ever see. I wanted to bring Noah today because it's gonna be a really cool guy that you guys can follow on social media of what he's doing and how he helps tell people tell their story. Cody has a property management company. He uses this to, shine a spotlight on how he's helping people. He gets new clients, gets new people in that. There's a never-ending possibility when you can get on camera and speak one to many. Who's heard of the show Shark Tank? Anybody? Okay. There's this guy named Mr. Wonderful. He's kind of I don't know what I can say in here. He's kind of like a jerk, right? He's not the nicest dude, but he's a great business dude. Great business dude. I think he's a Harvard grad. was watching this interview with him the other day, and this is like perfect timing when Rick, you reached out to me. And he says, what's the number one skill that you could have? Anybody going to college, what should you study? If you go to college, I'm a firm believer, because this all comes back to communication, figure out a way to be a good communicator, super communicator, I call it. But what's the number one skill? They asked Mr. Wonderful this dude who's a billionaire and invests in all these companies, what's the number one skill that you could have if you're thinking about what you want to do with your life? And his answer was, be able to tell something complex in a simple way on a vertical form video in 30 to 45 seconds. It's one of the smartest business dudes in the world. And he understands that where the world is moving, this thing right here, guys, this thing right here, where the world is moving, those who are willing to have a voice are going to win. Because the opposite, it's scary to be like, oh, I don't look perfect or I don't sound perfect. Trust me, we all start somewhere, right? Every single person thinks that. But once you just say, screw it, I am who I am, I talk how I talk, this doesn't have to be perfect, less perfect is better. When we started making video, like you had to be, I was young, I felt like I had to be perfect, and Noah had to shoot it and it had to look like we were in Hollywood. Like, that shit does not matter. It literally comes down to having a tool that you can talk to. I talk so much my phone is cracked because I drop it all the time, and I broke my case. Now I broke my phone, so I think it's time for a new phone. But you can literally just like grab it and talk, right? Now, I go back to positive impact. Do not troll people online. Like, that is like, I know I'm talking to a good group of hearted people, but I'm telling you, like, that side of where the world's moving, it's an imperfect world, but like the leaders, they don't dabble into this side of things. And some of our parents do, and some of our friends do, but the hate, the politics, the stuff that is just like, we don't need to be dabbled into, just avoid it. Just avoid it. Be positive, be genuine, and be authentic. Authentic is a word you guys have heard a lot, right? Hey, be yourself, be yourself. That is why I'm dressed in sweats today myself, because this is who I am, right? Like, when I was growing up, to have a certain role, you had to look a certain way. Let's just be real. I have sleeve tattoos. I talk how I talk. I grew up in the inner city. I grew up modest. Like, I wasn't born into some family. 10, 20, 30, 40 years ago, it was like the proper old white man in a suit. Let's just be real. That's how all these roles were ran in the United States. All these big companies, the proper old full suit, you're sitting at your desk all day. The game has changed. And the companies that are still around, they're evolving so that, because they know that it's changed. And all of their consultants, the coaches that they call, hey, how should we run our company? You better get some youth in there that understands technology and how to tell their story, through video. So again, you can have your own business and go through video. You can leverage this as when you guys go into the real world this is a skill that you guys have. This is something that you guys are familiar with, because when they're hiring you, they're going through interviews, they're gonna wanna know this. Like, it used to be somebody's coming in, I'm interviewing them for the bank, and they're sending me their resume. I'm gonna let you guys in on a secret. I might look at that for 2 seconds. Sometimes I'm just like, delete, because I have so much other stuff. I don't even care about the resume. I go find them on Facebook. Because if they don't have a Facebook or an Instagram, I don't trust that anybody knows what they do. I'm just being real with you guys. And that's in my sales side of things. If they're not on social and I know what they do, how can I expect that anybody knows what they do? People don't read the newspaper no more. People don't, like, let me give you an example. 2012, I'm running a company. Google comes out. I got an opportunity because I was just coming off of Grand Valley. I came to Grand Valley to play basketball. I broke my leg. I dropped out of Grand Valley because I was crutching around. my basketball career was done. I had to try to find a way to make it for my wife and I. So, what was I just gonna say? This is super important. Oh, running this company. So SEO, SEM marketing came out. This is a thing that's still a real thing in the marketing world. And we used to have these consulting companies. They walk inside the company and they say, hey, Mason, we could get you guys in front of 5,000 people per month. If you guys go to Google and search
whatever that service, 5,000 people per month, but it's gonna cost you like $3,000 to $5,000, right? That's how the world was ran 5-10 years ago. Now, guess what? I don't need to pay anybody anything to get people in front of me. I can just be myself and I can record. Because if I record and it's free, it's free. Like, who has a cell phone in here, or who will have a cell phone as you guys go to graduate, like, right? Like, once you guys, like, there's gonna be basics that once you guys start working, wherever that is, the two things you need is like a phone and a gym membership. Like, those are the essentials. Everything else is on top of that. But because of the power of the technology on this, guys, you don't need a bunch of other people. You don't need a bunch of other people to dive into how can I tell my story? How can I tell my story over video in a positive way? You take it from me, who's a prime example of a tweener. I told you guys, I'm in between. Take it from a dude who's an ASS, like Mr. Wonderful, but super smart. Even the biggest square, strict, conservative dude you've ever met has come to the realization that, holy cow, I don't care who's the smartest in the room. I don't care who looks the best. I care who can communicate the best. And that, it all comes down to being able to be comfortable in your own skin, dress how you dress, be who you are. You do have to be a chameleon, guys. So, like, depending on the networking that you're doing, like, don't show up to a network where it's like, hey, we're all dressing up and then we're in sweats. Like, I get that, right? Because I kind of feel like that too. But like, you got to be a chameleon in that way, but you got to be yourself. And most importantly, the whole world is moving to working from home, guys. Like, that is why a lot of people aren't going to make it, and a lot of people are. Because when you're not somewhere like our parents were, and they're saying, you got to do this, you got to do that, you got to be here at 8:15, your guys' structure will change. You'll be at home, the work will be on you. It will be on you. What do you get done during the day? And that's why the people who are competitive and interested in who they can be, that's why they're winning right now. That's why you guys see young people crushing right now. You're like, whoa, how are they doing this, right? But the biggest advice, because I know that you guys are all gonna go and do different stuff, right? Video may be a part of your journey, it may not. I hope I'm a good example of like what it could do for your journey, right? Is you have to figure out what is a problem somebody has, or what is a need somebody has. This, like, if you look at this whole diagram, there's a million problems, there's a million needs of all the people you guys know. What is a problem somebody has? How can I fill that void? And you guys will figure out what you want to do. It really comes down to figuring out what's the high level problems people have. How can I use communication to fill that void? And guess what? You guys are extremely valuable. In this next generation, you guys have so much of a big opportunity compared to what it once was for our parents, that I hope this excites you a little bit. This is not smoke, like, this is real. Like, this journey started, and like I told Noah, what'd I tell you? It's gonna take 10 years. I started making video, guys. Bro, I had like $70 to my name when I first moved to Grand Rapids. Had to figure it out. I told him 5 years ago, it's gonna take 10 years. I'm gonna do video every day. I'm gonna be in front of, by the time I get done with 10 years, there's gonna be 1 million people that know me in the United States. No matter what we're doing, it's gonna win, it's gonna help people. It only took about 3 years. It took about 3 years. I restarted my business. It took about 3 years. We did all new socials. We told our story. I've spoke to colleges, basketball teams, businesses. I get paid to coach, right? But like, all of that, a part of this journey is because I just started talking on camera. And what's crazy is that like the generation ahead of us, they don't have the self-confidence to do that, right? They just don't. Let's be real. Think about if you left here and said, hey, Dad, I want your dad or mom or grandma, like, I want you to go make a video about this with me. You're like, they're not gonna do that. Like, there's some fun, but like, it's now a norm, right? So I'm really just like, you guys have to understand that the type of stuff, another reason why I said yes to this really quickly is that within 2 minutes of talking to Rick at the gym, like, this dude's message was like, dude, I care so much about these kids. I just got this grant for this golf thing that we're gonna be building. Remember this conversation? And bro, like, even with the alumni, sometimes there's this there's a stigma about Belding because we're a small school and we might not be, thought of as these future CEOs and leaders and all this stuff. He goes, but I'm gonna change that because this is something I'm super passionate about. And like, this is an example of getting behind somebody who is a part of something good. The second that I knew that Rick cared about you guys, and didn't care what he asked me, I didn't care where I was coming. Because I know he's a good dude and he cares about you guys. And that is what this whole networking, I call it your ecosystem, is about. It's easy to say yes to everything. Trust me. I was a yes man, people pleaser, because I was broke and trying to figure out a way for my wife and I said yes to basically everything. And you would have thought I was successful because I made money. But to be real, I wasn't. Until I started taking this different leadership journey, when it came to having my own brand, having my own voice, because what happens is you weed out the people who you don't, let's just be real, it's a harsh world, guys. You have to be likable, at your workplace or with your friends. Like if you're not likable, people aren't gonna wanna be around you, let's just be real, right? So as you be yourself, it weeds out the people that aren't like you anyways, that you don't wanna be friends with, you don't wanna do life with, and it connects you with people who are like you. And that's the most beautiful thing about networking. That's the most beautiful thing about social, in my opinion, outside of being able to use a platform to try to go do good. And, we've used, you guys, I do loans, right? I'm not a doctor, but I've been in a position to give back to kids. Like my wife has helped 1 million kids and we've used the platform to donate to them all. Get stuff for school, get their haircuts get the foster kids haircuts before school. Like if you stand behind something that is powerful and positive, people will get behind you and they'll want to support. The same way that he cared about you guys and I said yes, anytime that my wife would say, hey honey, we got to do this. Like I'm like, this is something we got to do. And like, I need you to use your social to tell people what we're doing. The same way that he cared about you guys and I said yes, because all of our friends in our ecosystem know that we care about the kids, the second I go on social, and you guys can look on Facebook, like thousands of people in the community. Like I can get behind something good. I can get behind something positive. So please take that and run with it. Take it that we have a crazy opportunity. I say we because you guys are really fortunate. You're connected to like this tweener generation. And actually you guys got an edge on them. Because there's still some people in this bucket that I'm in right now that are still scared of putting themselves out there. Am I gonna be judged? What are they gonna think of me? What if I don't sound perfect? What if they don't like my tattoos? What if they think I'm ugly? You know what I mean? Like, those are human thoughts, right? So I hope that you guys can see, like, because of video, because of being a super communicator, it can work in a lens of corporate world, business. It can work in the lens of you guys owning your own business. It can work in the lens of you guys being promoted at the companies that you guys go interview for. It can work in a lens of being an asset for you guys as you go to interview. And like I'm telling you, you guys get in the real world and during that interview, they ask you what you're good at. You gotta talk about this. You gotta talk about stuff like this. Because as people are forward thinking, what is the business world gonna look like in 5 years? What's it gonna look like in 10 years? They're searching for young people who are interested, who they could be with them. I'm telling you, and the game has changed on that compared to just plugging into a factory like where I grew up, where my whole town worked at the factory, right? Like the quality of life has changed a lot. And it's for those who are capitalizing on it, that get to take advantage of it. So it's 9:30. I wanted to, couple different things. I want to open this up for questions. Is there a way, Rick, before we do that, for 2 minutes, I got a 1:30 video that I want to play for them. See if it hits your phone. If not, it's cool.
Hey, real quick before I play the video, I do this all the time. This is just a skill separate from anything else. I write things down, right? And I was talking to Coach Basson the other day about reading a book, and it takes me months to read a book because when I see something in a book, then I pull my phone out and I start Googling it, and then now I'm learning something else instead of reading. But I hope you guys heard this, and this is coming from somebody that turned down a $500,000 job, right?
That's a real story. I didn't even know I was going to say that, but that's a real, I promise you that is a 100% real story.
So a couple things about that. One, remember, I used to be an assistant principal, which should be more money than a teacher, right? It was, yes. It was, yes. Now, I'm making more money than I was at my assistant principal. That's how it is. But regardless of the money, like, I am 10 times happier doing what I am now than that job. So finding something you're happy about, regardless of, that's a big amount of money, right? But if you have something going, if you enjoy it, if you have all those extra times, your time, your family, the things you can do is hugely important. Being able to evolve. Remember I talked about that with companies, right? You're not going to stay around if you do the things the same way. Like we've talked about that in here. Tell your story. How many times have I said that? Right? He said that 3, 4, 5 times. I say it almost every day when you guys are making your videos. It's not just throw something up there. And hopefully either you ask him or I ask him about how he makes the videos. But if you're not telling the story, if nobody wants to hear it, or you're not presenting in a way that they can watch it, then you're gonna miss out on it.
Yep.
So that's the skill of creating it, is you're telling a story that somebody wants to connect with, and you can go from there. Free time. Again, that's why kind of how I run my classes is I give you guys so much free time. Someone can kind of, not many of you in this class, but in classes in the past, hang yourself with all the free time and don't get things done. The world's moving to where you're not sitting in an office,
Yep.
somebody there on your back, do this, do that, do this, get your job done. You're at home, you're doing whatever, right? And this is from the banking world, this is from this classroom.
Yep.
If you're not self-motivated to have that free time, that's one. It might seem small, but that is a goal of this class.
Amen.
Do this, go away. Get it done or don't.
Yep.
Right? That's a huge skill. And then the last one I'll say is, when I was an administrator, I've told you this before, when I did interviews, every single principal, they're going to do the same thing. They're going to go look at someone's social media before anything else. Some will read a resume and somebody will sneak through sometimes if there's not very many people applying. But if there's a lot of resumes, the first thing they're going to do is for sure for a teacher is go look at social media. And if people are posting things that they shouldn't be posting, negative things, you're not going to hire somebody as a teacher for doing that.
Any negativity is going to be the biggest red flag on anything. And you know what they're going to see? Are you smiling? Because they don't want not happy people working in their organization. I'm telling you, being happy when they go to your social, are you positive? Do you have a smile on your face? That is as important as anything, because it's all infectious. The same reason when you guys have negative friends, it's like next thing you know, you're all kind of feeling negative about something. Like when you're positive, when you're looked at like, hey, this is a positive person, this is a happy person, they're gonna look at that as being infectious into their company. Like, oh, I want my other people to be happy too. So after this, I do have some good ways of starting video. If you guys wanna make, like, it's funny you say that about notes, Rick. I'll tell you guys, when I was in high school, I got B's without ever studying. I was like really blessed on that, where I could get B's and C's, and I didn't put much time as being a student. And when I told you a story about dropping out of Grand Valley, I always promised my mother I'd go back to school because it meant a lot to her, and I just want to make my parents proud. They sacrificed a lot for me. So later in life, I still, at 34 years old, I'm in a special academy now, back at school. I will always continue to learn because I'm learning about what I'm interested in, and what it hits me and how I know I've matured a little bit into a man is that what Rick was doing there's sometimes a message will hit me. I'll be like, man, I better write that down because this makes sense of what I just experienced, right? So
I always walk around with paper in my pocket. You will never, it goes to the wash a lot, but I try to clean them out. But I always have paper in my pocket. I always take notes. I always write things down. One, because I'll forget them.
Yep.
Two, because when an idea comes, some of you have had me in yoga class, right? My head gets filled so often with things that it literally weighs me down. And then I'm thinking about all these things, and I'm like, I got to get it out. So that's the other one, is for my mental health, right? I write it down, and then it's out of my head, and then I feel lighter.
Yep.
Because my head is
Yeah. You relieve yourself of the anxiety of, oh, I might forget about this. You just journal it. Just journal it. Yeah.
Said something about don't talk politics.
Basketball morning.
Don't talk politics online.
No, yeah, just in a negative way. Like when people are getting involved in negative messages, that's where, even if it's not exactly how you feel, but you're associated with that type of stuff when you're involved in it, I just always suggest just stay away from like negative stuff any way you possibly can. Don't get me wrong, it's an imperfect world, guys. We all know we can see wrong, no matter right and wrong, you guys could all see wrong and be like, it's just try to stay away from it, because what Rick said too is that, like, you guys gotta understand, some of these guys that are NFL quarterbacks, they're getting drafted, but then they're going back to a tweet that they did 12 years ago. And they said something in a negative manner that they weren't fully educated on, and now they're not getting drafted. And so that is the power of, once you get behind negative stuff, you gotta be very, very, very careful, because it's out there forever. So, okay, this video, the reason why I'm playing this, it's a short video. This is just off rip. There's no scripts on this. We have a podcast, and this was after a podcast, and I told Noah, I gotta tell you about this really special moment that I had this last Saturday, which you guys are gonna hear me for the next minute 30 on this. And I want you guys to just really tap in and think, this is you in 15 years, and Mr. George is Mr. Mason. And I want you to show some gratitude in this moment. I don't care if it's right now or before Christmas or after this, but after this Dude Perfect class that he's put together for you guys, I want you to realize that you guys are being molded into who you're gonna be for the rest of your life. And when you look back in 15 years, you're gonna think of the people who impacted you. You're gonna think of your coaches, your teachers, your parents' friends who took care of you as well, like whatever that is, right? So go ahead and play this, Rick. This is literally just leadership video. It's got nothing to do with money or banking.
In between games for my son.
If you want to start it from the beginning, I don't know if you can.
Running into the next game with so Saturday morning, which means basketball morning in the Mauer household, and we're in between games for my sons, coaching both teams, running into the next game with Storm, and out of the corner of my eye, I see my high school psychology teacher, Mr. George. And Mr. George had a monster impact on me when I was 16, 17 years old. He believed in me, he empowered me. I remember specific times where I would get my work done, and this is after I broke my leg, trying to rehab to come back and play basketball, and he'd look me right in my face and be like, hey, go get 50 free throws, go make 100 free throws. And he really uplifted me during that time when I was becoming a young man. And the reason why I'm telling this story is because you never know who you could impact by being kind, by looking out for somebody. You just never know. And in that moment, we were able to share a bunch of hugs and him get to know my boys. And what's really cool is that my son Storm played against his grandson during the game, so we got to watch the whole game. And after the game, we had exchanged, cell phone numbers, and I sent him a message. I just said, hey, I just want you to know you made a huge impact on me, and I really appreciate that. And I know that he appreciated that message from me, based upon his response. So I share this story because I want to encourage you that if there's somebody from your past, teacher, mentor, coach, if there's somebody who helped mold you into who you are today, be intentional, reach out to them. If you have their contact, reach out to them and tell them that they impacted you, because it will make you feel really good, but it'll make them feel even better. So if that person's on this platform, tag them below and show them some love.
So I tell you that because I got emotional actually talking about that, because it's the little things. It's the little things that really impact you and change your life. And what's really cool is that he has no social media. Mr. George has no idea what's happened in the last 17 years. No clue. And he's sitting here and he's hearing what's going on. He's meeting my sons and my wife. And he's like, bro, I always knew. I always knew. He had no idea. He's ex-chief of police, so he couldn't have social media just for some privacy stuff. psychology teacher when I was a senior. I was going through some dark times. I broke my leg my first day of my senior year. I was going D1, D2 basketball, lost all my scholarships. It was terrible. But I think back to stuff like that and like, you know, maybe I would have made a different decision that night with my friends at a party if like he wasn't uplifting me like, bro, go rehab, go work on your game, go do stuff like that. So what's crazy is that I wanted to show you that, to know that in 15 years, you're not gonna forget the stuff that Mr. Mason's doing for you. You just won't, because it's embedded in you. But also, that video has nothing to do, did you hear me talk about money? Did you hear me talk about anything that I do, that I told you guys, investing in real estate? I didn't talk about any of that. Noah, how many people interacted with that video? Thousands. Broker owners in town messaging me, bro, you telling your story made me reach out to my high school teacher. Thank you. Can we please get a coffee because I want to do business with you? This is how the world works. This has nothing to do with business. This has just me being myself. And what it translates into other leaders wanting to be themselves too. You know, so let's open up, what time we got? Let's open up for some questions. Cody, I wanted to bring Cody because Cody is a Belding legend. What he's done in the business world is amazing. Him and I have done some really cool stuff together. And the main reason I wanted to bring Cody is because 1 year ago, what'd I say to you? I said, bro, you're really successful, but you gotta start doing video. You gotta start doing video. And this is a super smart, successful dude. What happened the first time we did video? Come over here.
I think the first video that I posted, we went to Rockford Park. I think it was 22,000 people see it.
Yeah, but also we stumbled through it.
Oh, it's terrible.
Far from, Cody's like, what the heck? How do you do this? I'm nervous. I'm like, what are you nervous about? It's just you.
It wasn't even the nerves. I couldn't get through the words. And you know what though? The crazy part about that is like, I took classes here. I was like in English performance. I don't know if Miss Holt's still here. Okay, she was English performance. Like I did that stuff. Never had a problem with it. But the second you get in front of a camera,
yeah.
You know, they say the camera adds 10 pounds, but it really did to me. I already got the 10 pounds, it added 1,000 words. So, no, the videos. But I wanted to say another thing just about like Mason's videos. The whole reason him and I connected, we were playing basketball together for a year. He started posting more videos, and I asked him about those videos. So, like, realistically, my whole entire business, now I'm in real estate, I own a property management company. I came to him and I go, hey, I've been wanting to get a lake house. I'm not really sure how to do it, but I want to turn it into an Airbnb. And he's immediately like, let's connect. And we started talking about it like day after day on the basketball court. And that, like, getting started gave me the confidence to go get that first lake house. Now we have, not that I own, but now we have 12 of them that we're managing, all from that one video that he posted that made me ask him about it. Otherwise, I wouldn't have asked you. If I didn't see the video, I wouldn't have asked.
And his dad retired. His dad's helping him manage the properties, and that is the power of people knowing what you do.
So let me add on to that. I don't know that I knew Cody because I was away in Florida. I came back. I was at the middle school. I don't know that I even knew Cody. I saw one of his videos about his lake house. I live on the lake. Eventually, I need a new house because I have 2 bedrooms. I have 2 kids. We're outgrowing. When I buy a new house, I'm probably going to go to this bank and buy a new house, right? With the house I have, because it's on a lake, and if you guys know anything about prices of everything, especially in real estate, it's skyrocketing, values are really high. I'm not going to get rid of my house. I'm probably going to rent it. Then I'm going to go to Cody and say, can you help me manage my house? Okay. A year ago, I'd never met these guys in person. And part of it is social media. That's where it started. And then the other part is going to the gym and playing basketball. And then when you're done, if you've ever been to MVP Fitness, there's just some steps there, and you're just sitting there. Or if you're between games, you're sitting there sweating. You're like, "What's up, man?"
Yep.
And it's in most of the people that are at a place like MVP Fitness, they have some money. 1, it's in Rockford. 2, it's kind of expensive. It's not free, so you got to pay for some stuff, right? And there's business owners. There's a banker. There's somebody that's running another business. There's somebody that can get you connected with somebody that's running that can create videos. You're getting in shape, right? So your physical health is improving, all right? So all of that, and it comes from watching a video. And his came from watching a video. And his came from creating a video.
Crazy.
right? It's
literally
what's-
crazy.
It's telling the story, it's being genuine, it's many other aspects, but it's something as simple as that.
I want you to keep going, but he just said something, guys. He just said something about the gym. I always go back to this. Like, I don't care if you're 16, you're 25, you're 31, you're starting your journey. If you guys are working part-time, who works part-time in here right now? I worked as like a freshman because I had to, so you work part-time. So in the next couple years outside of sports and what you guys are gonna start working part-time, right? If you make $500 a month, okay, that's what part-time is gonna pay you off minimum wage. $500 a month roughly that you're gonna see. 120 of it needs to go to a gym, the nicest gym you can join. 100 needs to go to a cell phone. You guys got $250 to live per month. That's a lot. I used to live off like $7 for the week, right? Like you guys can eat enough. There's Jersey Mike's and stuff like that. Like $500 is enough per month to fund your journey as a young adult. I want you to know that. And the gym is as important as the phone. I'm telling you, because who you'll become and who you'll meet. But yeah, I forgot that's how we met, is through video, which is crazy.
It is, well, through video, but also those same exact stairs.
Yep.
Like those same exact stairs that he's talking about, we've probably done over $5 million of like.
We have.
Just
Oh, yeah.
between us. And then we have other friends that we've done stuff too. So like just the power of being in a place surrounded by people that are trying to do things together. He says together a lot. There's two words he says more than anything. I don't know if you realize. It says intentional and words like together or us or like those kind of things. And it's super important because everybody doesn't feel like they're in that group, but you are. I mean, Hayden over here, I used to babysit him when he was this tall. To be honest, he was a little annoying, but I loved him.
Not a lot has changed.
No, okay. I knew somebody was going to say
But
that.
he smiles more than any person ever.
Look at that, bro. I thought he had the sauce the whole time. I was looking at you like, bros.
So, but like, I mean, I went to high school here, and I never in my wildest dreams would have imagined that I'd be doing what I am doing today. There was no plan for it. I always knew I was going to go into sales, but I never imagined that I was going to start my own business. Social media, his one video, just one random video that he posted, literally launched what I'm doing today. And I have him to thank more for my business than any single person because of one video. And that's the other thing that I want to mention. Like, you don't know who you are going to impact, and a lot of the times you aren't going to find out. Maybe one day you're going to be the Mr. George, and you're not going to know it. So that's my biggest takeaway from the social media, and I'm starting to do it more and more and more. And it's like one of those things that I'm growing with and trying to do better at. But you guys are in the position that you already know it. Like that's your life.
Yep.
Like, and you guys are having classes like this. Unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we didn't have classes like this. We didn't have opportunities like this. That room right there was an old weight room where you guys have your golf simulator. I was squatting. Like, now you got this beautiful gym, you have the beautiful weight room, you have golf simulators, you have everything that you possibly could need to do whatever you need to do. And he mentioned earlier, I like to take this to heart because I'm like, I feel like it's like Belding tough. You guys' opportunity is just the same as the kids in Rock.
It's the same.
You might not know all the same people right now, but through the power of social media, you can meet them so easily. So don't feel like because you're from Belding, you can't do it, because it's the exact opposite. Because you're from Belding, you're going to do it.
Amen. Amen. Amen.
That's the biggest thing that I can say. Because
Yep.
I owe so much of like who I am today to teachers like Mr. Madsen. You mentioned Mr. Madsen earlier. Like, I don't want to say poor, but I was close to poor. I couldn't afford, I was in football, I couldn't afford our jerseys that you could buy after the pink game. I was the only person on the team that had to say, no, I can't get it. One teacher, Mr. Madsen actually, now I know today, actually bought that jersey and gave it to me. Like, there's so many people here that actually care about you, like Mr. Mason here. Like, so many people that actually care about you. That is the difference that Belding can make for you here that other communities aren't going to do. And I truly, truly believe that this place and like listening and learning and actually taking advantage of classes like this is going to be why you guys are going to be successful in the future.
Yeah, you all have the opportunity to know each other's story. It's not some monster school. I graduated with 700 kids. So like, I had my friends, but like you guys all know each other's story.
Yep.
and you guys get to support each other as you guys grow and do good stuff. And I want you guys to all make a pack. And you don't, like, when you see your friends trying something and going to do something good, like, support them. Doesn't mean you have to spend money. It doesn't matter. Just support them,
Share
right?
the video.
In some sort of way. All right, we got 15 minutes because I am speaking to 400 people in 1 hour, and it's a big deal. But this was a big deal, and I want to answer some questions. I hope this was this valuable, you guys? What, did any of this resonate? Yeah. Yes. Okay. Good. Good. Let's answer some questions. Anybody have any questions on this?
I'll start with just one specific to editing, because again, this class,
Yep.
some other classes I've had, that's all we do is edit.
Yep.
This class is very different. Like, we went sledding the other day. Tomorrow we're gonna have a pizza baking competition.
Sweet. You guys are lucky.
Like,
That's the question.
You guys are lucky.
I'm gonna win because I get to taste it all. So
Nice.
But I guess specific to editing, like how, because we got pretty in depth with some of them. I taught them every editing technique I could think of. We use different editing software. They recorded with GoPros.
Yep.
And it was more specific to editing and the planning that goes into it.
Yep.
How much do you edit, or what's the important part of the edit that you make?
Yeah, great question. So the edit is the final person who tells your story. That's why Noah's one of my best friends, because Noah tells my story. And when I do professional video, you guys could all do this, like, as a career, that if you have the eye, this all comes back to how do you tell a story. You could actually be a videographer. Noah uses way more complex programs than what I use. What I use, because I do a mix. I hire Noah for some stuff, and then I do my own stuff. I'm in a mix because I have a lot of different things that I'm talking about. So sometimes I want to be professional. Sometimes I can't record myself doing something, so Noah comes with me. But with that being said, how I edit for free. Who has heard of CapCut? Anybody heard of CapCut? I edit for free out of CapCut from my phone at night. It's my way I wind down at night. I edit a video, I tell my last story of it, and it doesn't gotta be perfect. CapCut, fire, and it's free. Okay, if you want to spend a little bit of money, I think it's like 19 bucks a month. CapCut Pro, even better. Meta just introduced edits, free. Okay, who's got an Instagram in here? Okay, so there's edits that's connected to your Instagram. You can download edits. You can download it from edits back into your phone if you want to use it for other platforms as well. So edits is very similar to CapCut, both free. I take advantage of the free bucket as much as I can. The same reason I told you guys I used to pay $5,000 to be in front of 5,000 people. Well, now for free, I can be in front of 200,000 people. So double down on the free bucket. But then as you guys figure out what's next, there's videographers who doing weddings. He's doing professional snowboarders, professional athletes, everything in action. There's a crazy unique opportunity for you guys who have that eye or are interested in creating in production companies like the company he owns. So if you want to pay for it, there's all sorts of companies out there. For you guys that aren't working right now, there's 3 of you guys working, CapCut and edits, you can do it for free. It has all the tools you need, And anytime you do a video, could a 5th grader understand your video? And is it 3? I wouldn't do a 3-minute video. It depends on what you're talking about, but the less is more. I call it consumable. When you're making the edit, is it consumable? Because if I make a video, even though maybe you guys see some value in me right now or whatnot, are you gonna give me 3 minutes of your time? Probably not. You'd be like, Mace, I hear what you're saying, bro, but I gotta scroll to the next thing. They're gonna give you like 30 seconds, which is why when you first make that video, and I just thought of this, so if you wanna explain something you're going through, a project you're doing, a hard time you're having, a journey you're on, I'm not sure if you can relate to this, but if you use those words to start your video, hey, I'm not sure if you can relate to this, but we're doing this group project right now, and we're putting a lot of work into this, and what we're learning is super exciting. I'm just super grateful for, Mr. Mason putting us. I'm not sure if you can relate to this, but this time I'm going through is really freaking hard, and I know that this is a part of my journey. Or I'm not sure if you can relate to this, but I've been in the gym for 30 days, and I noticed such an impact. If you say, I'm not sure if you can relate to this, but you can say anything behind it, because you're already giving them excuse to not listen to you. Give them excuse. You're not asking them for nothing. Give them excuse. There's no ask back. I'm not sure if you can relate to this, but Or I'm not sure if this is for you, but, and I learned this from literally a doctor who teaches communication across the world. He's from England. He's one of the smartest cats I've ever met in my life. He's coached me twice in LA. And all of his messaging is, I'm not sure if you can relate to this, but I'm not sure if this is for you, but. So keep that in mind. Okay, I know I just went sidetracked there, but that's really powerful, you guys, I'm telling you. There's some psychology behind that too.
I have another. Do any of you have any questions or comments?
Yeah. YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. Meta is running the world right now. It's not going away. So if you guys want to get good at 2 platforms, it's Facebook and Instagram. TikTok, he knows I don't like TikTok, but I have friends in business on TikTok. He's like, you got to get on TikTok because it does work. It's just not my thing. I'm not dancing. I'm like just being myself. Like, I don't want to say it in the wrong way. Now there is some fun stuff. Like I do some fun stuff, but like TikTok is more of like for entertainment consuming. Facebook and Instagram and YouTube are for more business building, networking, connection consuming.
I think especially Instagram.
Instagram is taking over the world. I'm telling you, if you focus on one, focus on Instagram, let it post right to your Facebook. You have to press one post, it already posts because they're connected now, Facebook and Instagram, same company. It goes right from Instagram to Facebook. Yeah. Yeah, that's a strategy for sure. Who else got any questions? Anybody got any questions? I know I threw a lot at you.
All right, I have another one that's not related to video editing at all. The biggest struggle that people have, and I'm awful with this, and I'm still not very good at it, is how to connect with other people. Like they sit in their groups
Yep.
or in the school. It's the same as it's always been. Meeting new people, stepping outside of your comfort zone. My one strategy is I find something I'm good at. So I'm a PE teacher. Like I'm pretty good at basketball.
Good at basketball,
If you're good at
sports.
something, somebody will talk to me. Golf, I'm decent enough at golf. I sit in a cart with somebody. I play by the rules so I don't cheat. Somebody knows I'm not a liar. Then that creates a relationship. Cornhole, I'll play, like find something you're good at. If you can't, how do you connect with somebody, or what's like a conversation starter, or how do you reach out and start if you're in a room with people you don't know?
For sure.
How can you start networking that way when you're not behind?
Dude, that's such a great question. And Noah's been with me on this journey, but 5 years ago when I started paying for this education that I told you guys that I do, I pay $12 grand out of my pocket per semester to get coached, period. I'll never stop unless I don't, like if something changes where I can't continue to get coached. But when I do this, I really came down to, you have to be smiling. If you are sitting there like you just smelled poop in your Cheerios, nobody's coming to talk to you. Like if you don't have like an approachable face, you don't gotta be like the best look, but I'm just telling you guys, you have to start by smiling. Smiling and a genuine hello. Those are the 2 hardest things when you're kind of feeling nervous. I feel nervous sometimes too when I go in rooms and I don't know anybody. My wife's like, oh, this is weird for you because you usually know everybody. I'm like, yeah, it is kind of weird. Like, I don't know. But I just find somebody, I smile, hey, how you doing? You ask them why they're there. Boom, you're in. It's about them. You're not like, hey, I'm Mason and this is what I do and this is all the stuff I have and this is why I'm here. Like, don't do that. Smile. Hey, how you doing? You know, I'm Mason, what's your name? Why are you here? Like a question, a genuine question about them opens up dialogue for anything that you guys could talk about with them. Next thing you know, the person next to them overhears what you're talking. Oh, I love Jesus too. You know, like whatever that may be, right? So like, if you ask somebody a question and it starts, then they're gonna ask you a question. And that is the best form of networking. Smile, you guys. Like it's gonna be like, you're gonna catch yourself, be like, oh shit, do I look approachable right now? Like you have to smile. You have to smile. And it's not being fake. We were born to be happy. Trust me on this. We were designed to be happy. So be happy, be approachable, and ask other people questions about why they're there.
I'm trying to like what should I talk about? I'm trying to get someone high up, like CEO, like a company to know this week. Like what should I talk about?
And what?
Online or in person?
Yeah, like online or both.
Well, I think that so proof is everything that you could ever need in anything at all. So if you start posting now, what's going to happen is that the real world is going to connect you to that person. You're gonna make an impact, and then they're gonna say, I wonder what this young kid's doing. Then they're gonna go to your Facebook, and guess what's on your Facebook or Instagram? Proof that you're positive, that you know how to present a message. So like proof never lies. Proof is what anybody wants. So if you start now, you'll have proof, right? And if it's a positive thing, if it's positive, guys, I'm telling you, anything positive is contagious. It's contagious the same way that negative stuff is. So if it's something positive, you'll impress any leader, because leadership, the main thing I want at leadership is good attitude. I can help the rest. I can help the rest. Even if somebody, I'll give you an example. I have somebody who works for me, and it pisses me off because they should be really successful. In the last 2 months, they haven't been successful. And I know they got some stuff going on. But I decided about 2 weeks ago, I said, I have to be hard on him because friends do not let friends fail. And the reason why I gave it a little while and he wasn't fired because his business, is because he's positive and he has the effort. So like, even if things aren't going your way, if you have proof of effort, that is the main battle with whatever you guys are doing. If you're not making buckets in the game, but your coach sees you're first in the sprinting line every single day, right? Like, that's proof of effort. And that will get you literally anything you want in the world. 2 more, I got time for one more question. Anybody got anything to end? Anybody got anything? Yeah, come on. I coach at Rockford. My sons go to Rockford Christian. So I train some of the Rockford varsity players, which I'm super proud of. My buddy's 2 kids are going both D1. So I'm a teeny part of their journey. And then I coach some of the youth teams. So I have 3 sons. My youngest doesn't play yet, but 2 sons that both play. My dad and my sister coach women's basketball for 25 years in Lansing. So I was always around basketball since I was 1 year old. So now it's my time to kind of give back and be that Mr. George or Mr. Mason for, my kids and their friends. So
2 D1 players also play basketball as an MVP.
Amen. Amen. It's yeah, exactly.
The connections.
Was this helpful, guys? Was this good? Was this good? Cool. Rick knows how to get a hold of me. If you need anything, I'll help you. I hope that in 3-4 years, because the community's small. You're gonna start making video, whatever you're doing. In 3-4 years, we're all gonna run into each other. At some point, I'm telling you, that's how this works in West Michigan. So if you see me out and about, you see me somewhere, come say what's up to me, okay? I genuinely mean it.
That's not a lie. Like, you never know when you're gonna run into something.
Yep.
And even if it's something like you going to get a loan from a bank and you see him in the bank, hey, you were in my class.
Please, you guys, please, yeah.
The world is a very, very small place. When I was living in Florida, I moved there, and I was sitting at a restaurant, and the person next to me, I was like, no way. Graduated from Belding, hadn't seen me in 15 years in there. I was like, there's no, I go, what are you doing here? Oh, I live right down the road. I'm like,
that's insane. That's how the world is.
It's a small
100%.
All right.
Cool.
That's all I got. Listen, tomorrow we're gonna make pizza. Okay, I'm bringing the crust. I got the sauce, the cheese, and I'll probably bring some toppings too. Whatever you want to bring, you bring. Okay, and you can all make your own, or you can grab a partner and make one, whatever. But that's what we're doing tomorrow. Meet here still, and then we'll walk up to the kitchen. Okay.
All right.
We got about 8 minutes. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Good seeing you, bud. Nice meeting you guys. Nice meeting you.
Take care.
See you guys. See you, boys. Yeah. Yeah, you bet. You bet. Keep crushing. I saw you locked in, dude. I swear, were you in the class earlier, or
Yeah, we get on it.
when Cody and I came before, or no? Maybe? Okay. You look familiar. I wasn't sure. Because we just came here earlier this year with a different class. I forget who it was with. Hopefully you guys took some value from this. Have a good day.
So we just wrapped up at Belding High School. It's 55 minutes. I gave my heart and soul to the kids, and I felt that in return, and I know a couple kids in there were impacted. So shout out to Mr. Mason. What a cool, good dude for the community here. Innovative thinker, believer in the kids. Well worth my time. Well worth my time this morning. Me and Noah are driving right now just on cloud 9, knowing that we just gave back to the kids. So jetting home really quick. I'm speaking to our company. Got a couple hundred people that I'm gonna be doing this sales call with. Excited about that. And then off for the rest of the day. It's the greatest opportunity that's ever existed in the history of the United States. And it's the generation right now who is savvy with the technology, aware of social media, There's resources, so many resources that people can do different stuff. Like they took us to the gym, insane. They had a room that they had a golf simulator in. They're teaching kids how to golf, a lifelong skill. They're teaching kids how to video edit, make pizzas, cooking classes. Like it's just real life stuff. And I left there just thinking, man, we are in good hands with this next generation. We are in good hands. And we talked a lot about the impact that they could make and the chance that they have to do so. This isn't the same game that our parents were playing, clocking into a factory. You're gonna hear me say this a lot. The game has changed. Your life, the opportunity to live your life has changed. You can live it on your own terms. You can put your health, your mental health, being active every day, filling your bucket with stuff that fills you up, that you love doing, and still get your work done. It's a prime example of today. That's why I said yes today. I'll always say yes to stuff like this. It's always worth it. It's always worth it.